Trouble in paradise. Honestly, guys, I feel like Nollywood, if I don't know, shall, but it might be terrible if a producer decides to do what I want to suggest, right? Our colleagues and other people in the space might have a problem with it, but you guys can do a real life story. You feel use and do movie, because tell me why. Okay, this is what has happened. Desola Afod has left Kunle Afod, right? And she left because Kunle Afod started having problems with her. Do you understand? All the while, we all know Desola Afod. Of course, on this channel, we've done so many stories about that family. From when it was alleged that Kunle Afod rented a house for his mistress in Ibadan, Nigeria, furnished the place, put the lady there. Desola Afod was very aware. From the time that Motilola came online to say, Kunle Afod, leave me alone. You've backlisted me enough in the industry. We were together. Your wife was chasing me up and down. I have left you for your wife. So how and why am I still not getting work? Why are you insisting nobody should, call me for work? Why are you saying I should not be featured if we both of us cannot feature in the same movie? Because you are a big man in the industry. Of course, Kunle Afod is not a small boy in that industry. If you don't know, now you know. He's a multi-talented person. He's an actor, producer, director. And when you want to talk of people who have a say in the Yoruba industry space, yes, might not be Tampan president or anything, but even the Tampan president and co, they will listen to, if Kunle Afod says you are not calling this person on your job, you are not calling that person, and they will call you to tell you, Kunle Afod said we should not, and there's nothing you or any of that. If he says this person said you are not going there, you are not. I'm not there. I'm not in the industry. But that is basically the general consensus on the internet. Do you understand what's happening here? Anyways, Desola Afod has remained and stayed by her man all through the years. She had gone on several interviews to say, that's my man, I'm gonna stick by him, there's nothing you guys can do, we have 4 children together. If you like, go and start having kids for him from now until the end of the world. My 4 kids are his only legitimate children, so there's nothing Afod wants to share, there's nothing Afod wants to do with his money or anything. My children have the first claim to it. So she was very well aware of her husband's philandering ways. It wasn't a secret, right? It wasn't something that he was hush-hush about. The wife was aware. She accepted it. Said, in fact, in an interview, she was like, before, when Afod offends me, and I, of course, when you're offended and you're hurt and you're angry, you lash out, and she lashes out and all of those things. By the time Kunle Afod now says, baby, now, she's like, see, I don't already forgive you, but of course, hot pepper, of course, now, I had to show Pepe, but I'm not leaving. I'm forgiving you even before you offend me, just like Jesus Christ has said for Christians, right? So they've had that relationship for a while. So it became sort of like a shock to now hear that Desola is now the person that left the home and went to stay in a hotel. And people are like, Shebi, nothing could ever come wrong. So what happened exactly? Thank you for that question. Apparently, Desola Afod started a business. Of course, she used to travel out of the country. She was the errands girl. If you want to move things internationally, if you want to do stuff, she was there to basically sort of like a courier. But she was personally shopping for you, home goods, market runs, and all of those things. She was doing it. Then she now moved further to becoming a driver. So she was doing pick up and drop off. You can drop off, airport pick up, drop off, you have a meeting, you need a driver to wait for you. Sometimes if you want to use all of these, ride hailing apps, hailing companies and all that, they wouldn't really stay for you. They wouldn't wait for you throughout. Like if you have multiple stops and you're going to take an hour or 2 at each stop, they're not going to wait. So Desola Afod began to do that. She would wait for you, do your pickup. You can hire her from morning to evening, and the husband had a problem with that because apparently most of our clients were men. And Kunle Afod, according to the story, because both of them have actually come out to speak, and Desola Afod was like, see, if I actually start dropping evidence and receipts of what I have endured and what has gone wrong, for me to say that now is when I want to leave, you're not going to find it funny, because others are saying, Desola, you stayed with this man through thick and thin. And people loved it for you. Honestly, in the beginning, people were mocking her like, On top which celebrity, how much you don't make. But she stood by it and said, she's celebrity wife. Anything you want to do about it, do it. And she started her business using that. She started influencing. She made a name for herself. So people began to love her for that personality that she displayed. So it's like, we've loved it for you. We've accepted it for you. It's okay. So why did you now decide to leave now? Other people are like, Bonko, Kunle, where you were doing your own. You will say she's your student. She will say this one and that one. And your wife will accept with you. And you guys will do everything you want to do. And she stayed. Why do you have a problem now with her picking men? Right? And some other bloggers started to say, oh, this is what you've done is wrong. You know, regardless of how grown you might think you are, there are some things that are still disrespectful. You're a married woman. You don't get to do all of these things and blah, blah, blah. And Desola is like, I'm grown. I will be 45 this year. I am a 44-year-old woman. It is not your advice that will now put me in the right path in life. Right? I have taken certain decisions for myself a long time ago, and I'm rewriting my own story now. That is what Desola Afod is saying. Although Kunle Afod came out and he didn't necessarily speak on the cause of the separation now, for lack of a better word, he did say that, oh, he's grateful for everybody that had reached out to him, that had checked on him, you know, all the calls, people from far and near, you know, everybody, a lot of persons have reached out to him. They've sympathized with him, they've asked him questions, but Dad, he's fine. This man is in his 50s. And somebody in the comment section of that his post where he said, oh, all is well with me personally, thank you for reaching out. It's a trying time. He did say everybody goes through a trying time at one point or the other, and this is basically his own trying time, and he has accepted that cross and is carrying it, hoping to come out victorious at the end of the day, right? Somebody was like, this is the stage where a man would actually need a companion. You're in your 50s. So why is it that this is when Desola now decides to leave? Another person was like, oh, most women, when they leave at this time, you know, after spending decades in a relationship that seemed to not favor them, in quotes, right? They choose to leave when the children are grown. Their last child, they have 4 boys together. The last child was born in 2017, meaning he's 9 years old. So he's not a toddler anymore. I think maybe if the math is correct, and maybe not because of the new educational system where they say a certain age cannot be in a certain class, typically a 9-year-old child is in GSS 1, is in secondary school already on a normal day. But I think because of the new system and all that, I'm not sure if schools in Nigeria still accept that age, especially because if you're not a certain age, you can't get to uni. So if you start secondary school at 9, by the time you're graduating secondary school, you might not be able to get into uni. So I really don't know, but ideally, typically, a 9-year-old has started junior secondary school. So she's the last child is grown. That is what I'm trying to say. So it's like she just waited until the child is grown. Others are saying it is because she is flaunting another man. Now she has started. In fact, one of our posts, wallpaper, is herself and this particular man. And she was very bold to post it. That's her phone, that's her wallpaper. She posts his songs, she dances to his songs. The man is all over her Instagram page. People that have her on WhatsApp says that's who she posts on WhatsApp and all that, sort of like taunting a man to say, you are doing your own, you did your own, I'm doing my own now. I have a new man. Others are saying, this man you are following. Do you know that in Nollywood space, you're not an actress, so if you don't go and think you're an actress, in the Nollywood space, this man you are following now has several girlfriends in the industry, girlfriends in the industry. And the maximum thing he will do is rent a space for you for 1 year. Because he has them plenty at hand. All of these allegations, please note. Because he has them at hand, allegedly, that you can't necessarily provide for you continuously. So max for 1 year, he would give you a home, maybe take care of your needs, but subsequently you would have to figure out things for yourself, because this man will not be there anymore. So if you think this man is going to continue or maybe marry you, you are joking. But if you don't mind being a single mother and you just want to get out of the toxicity that your marriage, or you think that your marriage is, fine. So it's a little bit here and there concerning them. But Kunle Afod is a phenomenal actor. He's still doing his thing, you know. He has a show that he runs on YouTube, and he's still doing that. He's promoting. People are even like, see, this is the time you should promote your movies. Your name is on everybody's lips. People are asking questions, wondering who you are. He's from Ibadan, like I mentioned. He's in a state like 52. The wife is 50. The wife is from Mushin, Lagos, Nigeria. She's 40. She's only 45 these days. She's 44 currently. She'll be 45 in July, right? And Afod will be 53 in this year. So their growing up for them was quite different, right? But I'd like to hear from you. Afod went to different schools. He finished from Command School in Jos as a secondary school, right? But who knows? They might come back together and they may not. But if they do come back together, that will be our pride and joy. We don't want anybody's home to break, because Nollywood, the old thing, do you understand? After how many decades, close to 20 years together, you are now deciding, I don't know, whatever works for them. I'm not the one that's going to be the judge of that, you know. I'm not the one that's going to be the judge of that. That's left for you guys in the comment section to drop your opinions and your thoughts on this particular issue, Kunle Afod and his wife. And this, I hope it does not become a messy situation, because right now nobody's dropping receipts, nobody's name dropping or name calling or insulting anybody on social media. And I hope both parties keep it, like that. If they eventually reconcile, great. If they decide that they no longer want to be together for whatever reason best known to them, of course, that is also okay, as long as it is okay by them. Do you understand? But you can share your thoughts and your opinions in the comment section. I'll be waiting for you there. Like this video if you enjoyed it, share with family and friends, so you can, of course, have something to talk about. We are your one-shop plug for everything entertainment. We bring you updates about your celebrities, as it is hot. So you don't want to miss out on that. Subscribe to this channel. I'll see you in the next one.